How you doing, Aaron? What's happening?
All right, pal, you.
Yeah, I like your thumbnail. Who is it? Can you explain to people tuning in, the hardcores, who that is on the front with big chin?
It's that giant leech, Daddy Fudd, who's just been detained in Australia because not even Australia want him, do they?
Why? What's he been doing now, old Daddy Fudd?
I've not actually watched too much about it because I can't stand the man, but it's my understanding that he's trying to go over to Australia to do some of these after dinner, is it after dinner or nightclub events, PR events, um, and he's been detained. They don't want him in country. Visa's not up to scratch, something like that.
Why not? I mean, he's been all over. He's never been in trouble in his life. What's he done? Old buffalo feet.
I reckon they just don't want a big 30 odd stoner peddling nonsense to youth of Australia. That's my guessing, but who knows?
So there's no Bosch Doms going to be sold over there then?
Well, not for, well, he reckons he's going to be getting over there, but just not yet. So we'll see, won't we? Not that we care.
Yeah, his son, Big Elmer. He's going to be fighting. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go on, mate.
The guy's name. You're going to laugh now. He's going to be fighting Matuvu or something. Have you heard of him? Are you there? What's happening here? Earth calling Aaron.
Hello, mate. You there?
Yeah, mate. Can you come closer to your mic? 'Cause I can't hear you, lad.
Is that all right, mate? Is that
Yeah.
better?
Right. Herbert Matovu. Now, they spelt it wrong on the Matchroom billboard. It's actually with a U because I've been online and checked. So, Herbert the Summit Vert Matovu, 9 and 1, is going to fight Big Elmer on the 6th of December, 300 yards from Eddie Hill's penthouse in Monaco. What do you think to that?
Jesus. I mean, firstly, what's his record? Do we know? Is it? Have they
Yeah,
dug him
yeah,
up
yeah,
from?
yeah. Yeah, I've got it here. I've got it here, mate. He's just beat a guy called Anefe Sabira, a guy from Tanzania. Before him, he fought Matsuro Tajima, a 12 and 2 guy now, from Osaka, Japan. Before him, he fought Alphonse Mac Humiatumbo, a Tanzania dude from Dar es Salaam. And before him, he lost to not Umar IFL Umar Salamov. He lost to him, some bearded guy, looks like Peter Sutcliffe from Bradford. He beat him, and he's sorry, he lost to him actually, and he's don't look no great shakes either. So I don't
It's
know
him with
where
an
they've
hammer.
dug. I don't know where they've dug this guy up from for Big
No,
Elmer.
it's him with an
It
hammer,
look,
has he?
oh, I can't hear you. Right,
So, sorry, mate. So they didn't hit him with an hammer, did he?
I've lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
Well, I don't know what he's hitting with, but he obviously beat Herbert. Because we'll just I can't pronounce half these guys' names that Elmer fights, so we'll just call him Herbert the Herbert the Vert. Because we can't say the P word. We'll call him Herbert the Vert, and that's who Elmer's fighting. And Eddie's bigging it up as this guy's a big banger. Uh, it's one banger against another banger. Oh, no! Oh, help me. Beam me up, snotty. So I don't know what's happening here. He looks like he's treading water, doesn't he? But what do you think of it all now?
Well, we knew we weren't going to come out against anyone with a pulse, didn't we? Let's be right.
Didn't
So,
didn't they have a show over there last time? Didn't it hold between 200 and 300 people? But it's like thousands and thousands for a ticket to get in.
yeah, I think in that where Chisora boxed Caballero.
Gabriel, yeah, and he's got schooled, and Tyson Fury and Eddie said Chisora should knock it on Ed, didn't they? And Bricktop and them. But they're
Yeah, yeah.
still wheeling Derek out for his 50th, and Derek says this morning he's still going to keep fighting.
Well, we've touched on it, haven't we? This scrap heap challenge, these lists of heavyweights, the condition, they're all shot to bits, mate, and one of them's going to get really, really badly hurt, and we don't want to see it, but they're just going to keep wheeling them out and taking the money off them, and it's wrong.
Yeah. Jonathan's just texted me. He texts me 14, 15 times a day. Jonathan, I know you're 48 because you told me the other week and you live with your mum. Fair enough, I understand that. There's no wrong with that if you look after your mum. But come out your bedroom and do a Zoom. Don't keep giving me bullets to fire, Jonathan. But Jonathan says, you, Aaron, and Big Sean are being harsh on people in boxing. What have you got to say to that? Bearing in mind, you're always forking out for pay-per-views and subscriptions.
Well, I'll say this for myself. I put my hand in my pocket and I go to shows, don't I?
Yeah.
So I've got a right to have an opinion when I'm paying hard-earned money. Have I not?
Yeah, of course you have, mate. Of course you have. Jonathan also went on to say that he's worried about Rhino taking severe punishment at this stage of his career. What do you think to that?
Yes, he's right. Like we're saying, that chin's going to only hold up for so much longer. Someone will detonate on him, and unfortunately, it's not going to end well for him. They're talking about him now doing like a mini tour at UK, doing 6 rounders. I've heard.
Well, he said he's going to retire on his Insta yesterday, didn't he?
Well, who knows, mate? And frankly, after Saturday, do we actually care? You know, it's just all roads lead to Fudd, don't they? That's all I can see.
Yeah. For Rhino, it does, yeah, because they're talking a
Yeah.
stadium fight, aren't they, for Fudd versus Rhino, aka Eddie the Eagle.
Well, I think I mentioned it about 4 months ago. They could have had that fight on at Keepmoat in Doncaster, whatever they call it nowadays.
Yeah.
The stadium in Doncaster. They could have sold that out. Put likes of Padley on there, put Terry Harper on there, etc., etc. That'd sell out, no problem. Be an homecoming for Rhino, wouldn't it? Because he's not from Sheffield, he's from Doncaster.
Yeah. Bricktop's come out yesterday and he said Rhino versus Makhmedov was like the donkey derby. What do you make of that? And he says, AJ talked for winner. You're talking rubbish, he says. Absolute rubbish. Would the board pass AJ versus Rhino?
Well, we've seen worse, haven't we, in British ring? I mean,
Yeah.
is Eubank Ben not worse than that? Two men,
Yeah.
2 different weights, one drain down, 35-year-old, to an inch of his life. They'll
Yeah.
pass anything off, mate. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, oh, I know, right, Robert Smith will, won't you, Roberto Smith? Why don't you give Gary Sykes his belt, Roberto? He deserves it. Carl Johansson was classed as a defence. Everybody on the night knew the belt was carried in the ring and passed by your staff to the winner on the night, Gary Sykes. So if it's passed to Gary on the night to lift up, why is it not classed as a defence? Pop, pop, bang! You made an admin error, Robert Smith. Do the right thing, you wrong 'un. Okay, where are we now? Right. Somebody said to me that Adam Smith is now the Kenneth Williams of boxing. Do you know him off of Carry On? You naughty bit nice. Him, do you remember?
Yeah.
Kenneth
Matron.
Williams. So,
Yeah, could agree with that.
yeah, Paul Smith has backtracked on his gimmick comments and done a full retraction on Talksport. Never mentioned the 2 points took off Steve Gray, and never mentioned the fact that it was a 10-round fight that were changed at the last minute to 12. What do you think to that, Aaron?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday morning, and I thought, hang on a minute, this guy's backpedaling quicker than a pedalo,
Yeah,
and it were ridiculous, mate. Paymasters have obviously had a word with him, give him a tap on the shoulder. Look, don't be saying that. Don't be discrediting any of our fighters. Don't be telling the truth. Stick to the narrative, Paul, or you're not going to get back on. And he's obviously, tried to clean it up a bit. Spencer Oliver's come out and he's doing his best to smooth things over and change his opinion as well, isn't he?
well, they all started changing their opinions after Eddie the Eagle got on the scales.
Yeah.
It's not good. Spotty Frank's come out today. People are asking him Anthony Joshua, if he fought Macbeth, would it be pay-per-view? He said every Anthony Joshua fight is pay-per-view. So Joshua versus Macbeth, what sort of stat card would they have to put with that for pay-per-view?
Dave Allen versus Phil Williams. Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden in his 35th move around.
Yeah.
You might get Padley Bellotti rematch because there's a bit of controversy around that. Not as much as they should be because that was shocking. Yeah, probably wheel out Fudd. Who knows, mate? Some garbage, wouldn't it? I mean, if you look at that card at Monte Carlo, it's terrible, isn't it? I mean, really is poor.
The bank that broke Monte Carlo.
It's just. Well, there's not an headline fight on there, is there? To me, it looks like a prelim pre-7 o'clock free on YouTube, set of fights to me personally, from what we've been getting served.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good, is it? Well, I mean, I'm sometimes wondering what they're doing with AJ because where does AJ go now if he doesn't fight a gimme fight? And where does Crusher Ben go if Eubank pulls out? They're like parked up without Ben's parked up without Eubank and Joshua's parked up without Fury. They can only fight gimme fights, can't they now, them two?
Yeah, and they're top of the matchroom food chain, aren't they? Them as well. You know what I mean? AJ, Ben, who's in third position, who's in fourth. Rhino's up there, isn't he? Still, he's one of their main men. So yeah, they're just hanging around for their major paydays, and they don't want to risk it against anybody else. So you're not going to see. I mean, AJ's been out of a ring over 12 months now. That's ridiculous for a man of his age.
13 months.
Yeah, he shouldn't be having warm-ups with Matt Moodov, people like that. Just, if you're going to make the Fury fight, get on with it, because I don't want to see AJ fight anybody else. I'm not interested.
20 years ago, we had Ricky Hatton as a cult hero. Boxing's moved on since then. Now, according to Officer Dibble, PC Gully from Boxing King Media, the man with an average of 27k a video but 1.1 million subs is bigger than Jonathan Ross. So Officer Dibble says the Rhino is now a cult hero as boxing slid down the radar 20 years later.
Well, that word cult says it all, doesn't it?
I hate that word. I get called that on here. All those like, it's a little cult. I don't like it personally.
He's not cult, is he? Because he's being pushed as a mainstream guy on a Saturday evening spot, headlining an arena, telling us they've sold it out when I know quite, and you know full well they haven't.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So no, they can't be describing someone like that as a cult. He's basically one of their top guys, and that's how poor the stable is at the moment. We've got a guy who's not. He's an area level heavyweight, Dave Allen, and they're still saying he's going to win a British. He will not win a British title against Fraser Clark.
No.
Or TKV. I don't see it. Not on Saturday night's performance. Simply not fit enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, Eddie's roster in the UK: Joshua no belt, Crusher no belt, Rhino no belt, and Elmer Fudd no belt. Where does Eddie go now? How can he spin this narrative for this lot now?
Well, I think like I was saying, the cards are just getting gradually worse, aren't they? And he's just hanging on for the Saudi cards, basically. And they don't care two ways what they're putting on over here, it seems. And he's got Ben Whittaker now, hasn't he? So they're really going to push that because he's literally the only live guy who could potentially win a world title they've got in the stable, in my eyes.
Why don't they put Ben Whittaker in with Callum Smith?
Because Callum Smith will dust him, mate. That's why. And Callum Smith's 30 odd, isn't he? And he's on his way out, really. So they're not going to risk that. I mean, the logical fight for me for them to make would be Willie Hutchinson with,
Whittaker.
Yeah, Whittaker versus Willie Hutchinson, yeah.
Okay. Callum Smith says that Turkey's offered him the David Morrell fight. I personally don't think he takes that. Now, it's common knowledge from matchmakers that Callum Smith priced himself out the Benavidez fight, asking for an absolute fortune. So that fight's not going to happen. You don't go from getting what he got against Boatsa to asking for 5 times as much for Benavidez. So what's Callum Smith going to do? Is he going to tread water and try and get an email saying he's world champion for the WBO?
Yeah, possibly, mate. Or maybe he's waiting to see what happens with Anthony Yard, how badly Anthony Yard comes out of that contest, and maybe he can make something of that. But I'd see Callum Smith as somebody who's just hanging around for monster paydays. He's made so much money in his career. It's ridiculous, really, what he's earned for. I believe. I mean, if you look at him at super middleweight, I don't believe he's anywhere near the ilk of the previous set of champions like your Frotchers and your Andre Ward. So he's done very, very well out of the game, and that's why he's able to sit there and push for more money because he's already got a fat lump in bank, hasn't
Frotch used to absolutely write him off at the EIS and
he?
then say, send the next one in. They were all queuing up. Callum Smith, Alan Green, and John Pascal. That's a true story, mate. So he's very upright, very amateurish, isn't he, Callum Smith?
Yeah, he's got that hook, and that's about it. But I think even George Groves, if that had been 2-3 years previous, Groves hadn't have had that shoulder issue. I think he'd have made light work of Callum Smith. I do. He's doing all right in that fight, so he hadn't sparred a minute.
He didn't throw that punch hardly. He didn't risk that arm, really. It was like a pouring thing, won it all night, won it Groves' bad shoulder.
Yeah,
For Groves, actually, with that fight.
yeah. I've dislocated my shoulder, mate. I can tell you, it takes a long time to come back, a lot longer than he had in training camp, and he wouldn't have felt the strength in that arm whatsoever, and he certainly wouldn't have been sparring full force. So, and he had to have it reconstructed as well, which was even worse than what I had. So, yeah, he basically went there with one arm, one he, and Smith's still made a meal of it, really.
Yeah. Super Bean, aka Kenneth Williams, he went into full Super Bean mode. Listen to this, it's only 4 seconds long. Saying, oh, he'd love to be in them strong arms when he's Super Bean. What do you think's of Super Bean's commentary? Paul Smith wasn't happy with it.
I haven't listened to it back because obviously I was there, weren't I, mate? So I've not. After Saturday, I've been a bit disillusioned with fight. So I've not watched it back yet, but I need to. But I've heard it were absolutely shocking, and even Smith's come out and said they were trying to pull him one way when his eyes were, his eyes were deceiving him before at one point.
I don't think he's as bad as Darren Barker when he's commentating. If a matchroom fighter gets clipped, Darren Barker turns around and says, "Great defence from Conor Benn."
Yeah, I've seen fighters do some really good work, and they just don't pick up on it at all. Away fighters, and you're thinking, why you not picking that up? That's brilliant, And they'll go away with it like, oh, great defence. You've not, just eaten 3 or 4 shots. There's no defence there. It's nonsense, mate. They need to take a step back now and get back to, calling things as they are, because it's just killing the sport. It's absolutely killing my enjoyment of the sport, and other people, other hardcores who know what they're watching. It kills it, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready for the piece de la resistance. Big John Fisher fronts Bish Bash Bentos campaign, Guy and Co. They've got Daddy Fudd on billboards round the country. Let's have it dinner time, Bosh. Bish Bash Bentos, Frey Bentos. Which is easiest way to kill yourself if you like pastry, by the way. Did you know this?
Yeah, I've seen. I didn't know if it were an advert or he'd just done it off his own back because he loves Frey Bentos pies. But I've seen a little clip of him putting one in fridge or something daft like that.
How on earth, right, has this guy ended up all over billboards with stuff like this? I mean, what's going on here? Where are we going with this here? Basically, we've got a fat man here running around eating himself to death. Well, I want to see him eat 10 of them because I know how feeling they are, because I was fetched up on them in the 70s.
Yeah, they're the university students' favourite, aren't they? A Frey Bentos, a couple of quid from own bargains or whatever, aren't they?
Yeah.
What I don't understand is the guy, he even like broke into BBC Sports Personality of the Year, didn't he? and got a mention there and came out and did some Chinese reel off of his order. I just don't get it, mate. It's not amusing. It's not funny. The man is eating himself to death. He's got absolutely zero talent. He's not likable whatsoever. His son's a mediocre boxer at very best. What on earth is he? He's talentless. There's no. His 5 minutes of fame are over. Get rid of him. I'm sick of seeing him. Bosh this, bosh that. It's ridiculous.
Well, he's here to stay, I'm afraid.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
I don't know what's happening here, mate. But they won't let him in Australia. Then again, they don't let anybody in there, do they?
No. Who knows what he's done? Well, has he got some skeletons in his closet? Do we know? We
It could
don't
be a
know, do
big.
we?
He could have a beak habit. I don't know, mate. We don't know about him, do they? But he could do his 6 month on the old Billy Whiz.
Yeah, I don't think he's got an habit looking at him. Only habit he's got is, like I say, Frey Bentos pies by looks of things, and gravy. I just don't get it, mate. And he's everywhere. And the thing is now as well, because he's got that little bit of fame off his son's back, that little bit of limelight, the arrogance of the man now, he thinks he's something, doesn't he? When he's talking to people like Paul Smith, will remember that. Remember what?
What's he going to do to Paul Smith if he get flogged by Smigger Smig?
Of course he would. Why don't they have that? Smigger's dad, Big Juice Head, versus Fudd in a Misfits.
Smigger Smig's dad and pull his pants down and knock Johnny Bosch out with his cock. Do you know what I mean? Okay. John Coffey against Pulev rumoured. Pulev 45-year-old for WBA reg. What do you think to that instead of the Frank Sanchez fight?
God, I mean, that's Dave Allen level, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
No, Pulev, I mean, I thought he beat Chisora, actually, to be honest with you, but he's well past his best, isn't he? He's not the one who cut Yui up.
Yeah.
He's another one hanging around too late. I mean, I thought they were getting rid of that regular title, mate. I thought that would go in because it was just nonsense. They were supposed to be getting out of every division, weren't they?
Here. That was 5.5 years ago. The WBA said they were doing away with it, and they're still creaming fees, 3% fees off shows.
Yep.
We don't believe.
And they will do.
Oh, we don't believe what we're told, do we?
No, I mean, all you're doing there is you take away from your super title as well, aren't you? Having technically two champions.
Yeah. Okay. The 16th YouTube interview since Sunday from the Gad. He's now saying that Simon Jordan, aka Judge Jordan, was very rude to Spotty Frank, aka Frank Silver Spoon Boy Smith, aka Richie Rich. What do you think to the Gad going into to bat for Spotty Frank against his colleague? Is it all hype and are they all in on it together?
Probably, mate. I mean, Bone Crusher, Frank Smith.
Crusher Smith. Bone Crusher Frank Smith.
Bone Crusher really does think he's something, doesn't he? You know, he's just a glorified T-boy. He's all he is Barry Earn's pal. Barry Earn has done his pal a favour and given his son a job, and then he's technically, apparently, worked his way up to this ladder, this imaginary matchroom ladder where anyone can get on as long as the Barry Earn's, mate's kid. So whatever Frank Smith has to say, who cares? I mean, Simon Jordan, to his credit, is a self-made man, which is something Frank Smith will never be. So I'd rather listen to Simon Jordan.
Is it Frank Smith's problem, though, that his dad's some big millionaire financer? It's not his problem he's born into wealth, is it really?
It's not his problem, but, it's the arrogance of the people, like Eddie Earn, and they're coming out and, it's half as if they've created it themselves, and we know different, don't we?
Oh, rich kids knock about with rich kids, don't they, Aaron?
They do, mate. They certainly do, and they bully young ladies like Jodie Marsh, don't they? Because they can get away with it because everything's been given to them. Yeah,
it is. I put a video out yesterday before anybody. First one to put it out. Had a tip off of a matchmaker that TKB were injured. Do we think there's something a bit more sinister because in the last hour, boxing scene and all that lot, and the BBC are now putting stuff out saying it's Big Freeze against TKV is off. The show's in jeopardy. Has Adrian Mole been stitched up by the powers that be, or is it a genuine injury?
It could be genuine, couldn't it? You know, the injuries do happen. Who's injured? Is it Big Freeze or TKV?
TKV's injured, isn't he?
Right. So maybe there's been a bit of money change hands. Who knows? Let's move this date because it's clashing and it's BBC. And it's going to take away from our show, which is pay per view. Or maybe it's genuine. Or it could just be that they don't want to upset people at BBC, and they want more eyes on it. And maybe they've made a collective decision to change the dates. Who knows, mate? I guess we'll never really know the truth for that one, will we?
No, I suppose we won't. It's knackers for the sake of chatting knackers, in it though. Really, I want to see Big Freeze in a fight. Do you think that Big Freeze is not going to get a fair shake with Adrian Mole? Obviously, he's another privileged kid that's got involved in boxing promotion. I mean, these privileged kids they slip into position after 3 or 4 shows, don't they? Obviously, he's a well-connected kid. I'm not having a go at him because he comes across now as quite likable, but everybody was saying behind the scenes, now that Turkey is backing him with a bit of sponsorship, that they'd leave him alone, won't they? But this is boxing, isn't it? And stuff goes on behind the scenes. Money talks and bullshit walks. Do you think Turkey might be finding out that now?
Yeah, I think he's certainly had his eyes open in last, 2 years or so he's been in sport. Yeah, I don't see the longevity in Saudi Arabia and the British promoters. I think they'll eventually, get their hands chopped off as such, and they'll stop getting these big paydays, and eventually they'll have their own promotion or something like that. That they're starting to do with this Zuffa nonsense. So I think Ben's just got to hold on now and stay relevant and keep his stable going because I see Matchroom are in dire straits as far as I'm concerned. They are in a mess. And I think as long as Ben can keep it going on the BBC, he might be able to steal a few fighters if that takes off and does well. He's only got 4 shows to start with, but things could pick up quite quickly if people jump on it and he does well. But it's a big ask for him because he's not really proven anything so far, has he?
No. Hang on. In an era of rematches and rematches and rematches from Rematchroom, every time we see a decent fight, there's a rematch. Callum Smith didn't mention Boatsi rematch, did he, on Talksport over the hour interview?
No, that's a good point, that mate. I don't think Boatsi wants that, and I don't think Callum Smith wants it either because there's not enough money in it for Smith. He wants to try and get a big payday, doesn't he? Which is why he's asking for silly money. But Boatsi, I mean, if he loses to Smith again, it's curtains out. Curtains closing on career, isn't it?
Yeah, but Whatever happened to trying to right a wrong when you get beat?
Yeah, I agree, mate, 100%. But this day and age, that doesn't happen. They manoeuvre people around things, don't they? Look at AJ. Why didn't he right that wrong against Dubois if he was such a big, a world champion and excellent fighter and not a hype job? He jumped straight back in, wouldn't he? Surely.
Well, I heard Bricktop were asking, like, why do you want a rematch when you're the challenger for my guy's world title? I know he got the belt via email, John Coffey, but why do you want a rematch when you're challenger? And Eddie Hills reply, well, we're commercially bigger. So they give him the rematch. Dubois put him on planet Jupiter, right? And then they didn't want to take the rematch. So I don't know, but Anthony Joshua's been missing 13 months. He's got nothing lined up. They thought they were getting the Jake Paul fight, and he pulled the rug from under them. Then they've tried to manoeuvre Eddie the Eagle, Dave Allen, into position to fight, and it didn't work out. They had Steve Gray underperforming on the night. They changed it to 12 rounds from 10, got him home advantage. Still didn't work. So where's Joshua go now? They're talking Joshua Fury next year and that, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen now, do you?
No, I think 100% we're going to get Mahmoudov AJ. I just can't see any other fight for him now. I think they've lined it up. They're gonna. I mean, I've noticed Boxing King Media have already come out. Your mate PC Gully, he's already come out and started to plant the seeds for that one. calling, Mahmoudov a great guy, and he's, won the hearts of the British fans, and they'll bull him up now, mate, like we've never seen before. He will be, one of these guys who's going to kill us in our beds, as you like to say, by Christmas, and then they'll announce the fight, I think.
What about Officer PC Gully? Every time he's met Turkey over there, he keeps saying what an honour it is to meet you, His Excellency, and all that. He's said that 3 times in company people, in front of people that I know. I mean, can he get any? Can he get his tongue any further between Turkey's feet while he's got his sandals on? What do you think?
Well, I mean, what is this Turkey's background? Who is he? Where's he from? What's he done? Where's he got his money from?
Is it even
What?
his money, or is he just a front guy? Pop, pop, bang.
I thought he was just a front guy, like somebody employed, but it seems, I've heard people referring to him as a billionaire, and I don't really know, mate. I've not looked into it enough, but I think someone should do some digging on that one, really.
Yeah,
Might have to have a little look
nobody
into that.
daren't though, because they all want to get out there. You could end up out there, and you could end up doing like a big John Fury after you nutted that guy. He was running around saying, "I just want to go home. I just want to go home." He was like a mouse running after that.
He's not really been the same bloke since, has he?
He's not been
Big
out
JR.
there since, has he?
No, I mean, he well, he's just a one-off, isn't he? Thank God.
What's happened to him anyway, Aaron? Where is he? Big John Fury, big fighting man, 100-0 on the hard road, 100 of them, all given a plane ticket to Mars. What do you think?
I think he's in that field with a pot of tea on and a hot stew, and
On the hot fire!
getting ready for Christmas. And he'll be doing a bit of rabbiting and whatever they do. And who knows, mate? And who cares? Best.
Mate,
I mean, I do enjoy him being around. To be honest, I know we rip him to shreds, but he's entertaining in here, if
yeah,
nothing else.
yeah, but listen, Aaron, you're missing the point. He doesn't eat rabbit now. He eats roast, hedgehog, and cabbage. Pop, pop, bang. Right, that's it. I'm off now. So you take care, Aaron. Nice to have you on. We like to have a bit of banter. If anybody's offended, I don't care. Leave a comment in the comment section. Booyaka. All right, pal.
Cheers, mate. See
All
you later,
right.
buddy.
Right. That were Aaron from South Yorkshire. Women love him. Men want to go out and have a pint with him in a heavy session. Go on, peace out. Booyaka. I'm off to make a cup of coffee and I'm going to have a mint flavoured penguin. Booyaka. Max, don't even ring me, Max. I've gone off you, you weapon.